Welcome to the LIS webinar captured on February 29th, 2024, Leap Day. I'm Michael Crossfox. I'm the Academic Support Assistant for the Division of Library and Information Science, and on behalf of the Division of Library and Information Science Student Association, I welcome you to this recording. We'll join today with the Associate Director of Career Services, University Career Services, Kenneth Emegbo. Welcome, Kenneth. And without further ado, I hand the floor to you because you've got a great slide deck chock full of information relevant for our MS LIS students as they pursue their degree. So welcome, Kenneth. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. Yes, I always appreciate doing work for my library's information science students. I hope that you do find this workshop informational, very informative, and know that we are a resource here at St. John's University. I know our students are online, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that you're aware of all of the services that we provide for you, of course, in person with myself, and then as well as online and the different resources that we have. So with that said, I am going to start this slide, and I will be turning off my camera so we can focus very much so on the slides and the information that I'm providing. And hopefully you find this as informative as I planned it to be. So let's do that right now, and I will go first. So as I said, welcome to University Career Services for the Master of Science in Library Information Sciences. We're going to get started. There we go. Four things that I really want to make sure that you all leave here with are these four boxes that I have set up for you. So first will be who we are and how we can help you. When I say we, that is obviously University Career Services, but mainly me because I am the advisor that is tasked with helping and guiding and setting you up for success for all of my library information science students. Second is to let you know that Handshake is definitely your new best friend. You'll understand why I'm saying that when I get to that particular section of my presentation. Thirdly, internships, as well as we would like to call them experiential learning, because sometimes what some people claim as an internship is not always that. So experiential learning is always something very valuable for students. And then finally, how we like to stay connected to you as a career services department, because that's really the way that we are going to serve you to the best of our ability. Generally what I'm going to show is that as an overview of career services, we are the department, obviously, that assists students with professional development. And some of the points that we like to serve you with are we help you look for internships, jobs, research opportunities. I know I work with a handful of our students in the program right now, and these are some of the main things that we discuss and we go over and we develop as we're working together. We also like to help you explore the career options within your major, because what happens sometimes is students enter into, I cover 21 different majors, and what happens is students enter into the particular major that they're in, the actual field of study, and they feel that they're going to just say, well, I'm going to do the very generic thing because that's all I'm allowed to do. And then after conversations with me, going over some of the resources I provide, you see the large amount of things that you're able to do, and sometimes things that you never even thought you're able to do with the particular degree that you're pursuing. So we help you explore those career options within your major. And definitely, again, here's Handshake again. You'll understand why I'm saying this for sure. So helping you set up your Handshake profile as well as your LinkedIn profile. I think those are two very large and very important vehicles that will help you in your job search, that are going to help you network with people, that are going to help you just go to that next level of your career. I will say that before I move on from this box is when we're talking about Handshake, when we're talking about LinkedIn, I would hope that students don't immediately just hop onto Handshake and hop onto LinkedIn and start trying to send your stuff out to people, because I'll say this now and I'll probably say this when we meet in person or virtually, whatever. Never use your Handshake or LinkedIn profile unless they are 100% complete and well developed, because employers and different people are able to see your profile once you click on anything that has to do with them. So I would never want you to set yourself up to look like someone who's not well prepared. So again, as important as Handshake and LinkedIn are, please use them when they are 100% complete. And I do help you do that. And I love actually helping with that part. And then, of course, we host a variety of events such as jobs and internship fairs, employer information sessions, and employer-led events. And again, knowing that this is an online course, and some students are not even in this area, we do have opportunities for you to meet with employers virtually, to attend some of our events virtually. Of course, in person is always a highly effective way because people get to read body language and enthusiasm and all of the great things that you bring to the table, and they can actually get that from a handshake, from an engagement, from a handing of a resume. Those are great things. But again, if you're not able to do that, we do have opportunities for you to do things virtually. So hopefully you'll able to take part in any of those type of vehicles that we have provided for you. And again, what I like to do before I get to the other part that you see that big empty gray section with, I like to kind of focus on those columns on the left, those different boxes on the left. Um, when I'm working with students a lot of the time, I always ask them, what is it that you want to show to employers? What do you want them to know about you? If you're going for a particular job within your field of study, are they going to look at you? Or are they going, like I always say, it's called ego surfing. When you type your name in, go into Google, type your name in the search box, what comes up? If a lot of things come up that aren't related to library information sciences, what you're going for as your career goal, what we need to do is make sure that we find the proper brand for you. We rebrand you, we enhance some of your brand, anything that we need to do so that when people do search for you or come across your name, they say that this is a person who is deeply involved in their craft, and there's someone that we want to make sure that we involve in our either hiring process, in our internships, and any opportunities that we may have. So you always want to make sure that your brand speaks towards what your career goal is. And again, everything that I'm going to be talking about, I don't want to keep saying, and I can help you with that, and I can help you with that. Let's just say overall throughout this entire presentation, if there's something I'm talking to you about, I can help you with that. Second box is it's who you know and who's in your network. Your network is sometimes right underneath your nose and you don't even realize it. Your network are the students that are participating in the class with you. Your network are your professors, the staff, the administration that works at St. John's, the employers that are willing to search for students. I have employers that send me information. Do you have anybody in library information sciences? I have students that I work with that I connect them to employers or different opportunities just to get themselves immersed in the field. So who's in your network? You always want to pay attention to who's currently in your network and always look to build on your network. In that third box, interns wanted. Internship, experiential learning, whatever you want to call it, is such an invaluable thing for you to take part in. Sometimes you will be saying to yourself, I'm studying this particular area of library science, and I think this is great for me. And then you don't do any internships, you don't volunteer, you don't do anything while you're in your educational part of your career. And then you hop right into the career field and you say to yourself, you know what, this isn't what I thought it was. Or the flip side, this is fantastic. I love it. I wish I did some more before that so I would be really good at it. That's where experiential learning and internships come into play. So you want to make sure that if you can, do some volunteering, do some internships, do some form of experiential learning where you say to yourself, this is what I'm going to do and I love it and I'm so glad that this is what I did and this is the choice that I made. And then finally, with jobs, you thought about it, you experienced it, now become it. How do we make that happen? We want to make sure that in career services, that's what happens with you, that you don't just come to St. John's and say, I did my educational part. Now I'm going to figure this out on my own. My goal as the advisor, and I could always speak very specifically because no other advisors are assigned to this area of study. So I say that my goal really is to help you figure out what your why is and what success looks like to you. If we can understand that throughout your educational career, we're on a great path for you to finding out how to become whatever that career is that you're choosing. So again, you get that personalized one-on-one advising. I help you work out career assessments and planning. Back to the fact that this class is very much online. We have great online career services, just like we have Handshake, we have Parker Do, we have Forage. I'm going to actually expand on Forage a little bit later. We have Big Interview where you can actually practice interviewing online in front of a camera. You get rated, they look at your body language, your eye contact, how you answered questions, and you get something that kind of helps you with that. Also, if you meet with me virtually, there's ways we can do mock interviews, and again, me working at St. John's, I understand what you're looking for. The programs are great. All of this AI that we have, it's great for working things out. If you want to do something, you work and you get home late at night and it's after work hours, you're like, I still need to practice interviewing. Big Interview is fantastic for that. We have career and internship fairs. Again, they are generally located on campus, but then there's opportunities. I'll always tell a student, if you sign up for and the career and internship fair, you see an employer that you're interested in, but you can't make it here, I'll do my best to make sure I connect you to that employer or to those employers that you're interested in so that you're able to take part in the opportunities that every other student at St. John's University has access to. And again, on-campus recruiting programs, those on-campus recruiting programs aren't always on campus. Again, they could be virtual. We have employer site visits, speaker panels, and networking events that I advertise on Handshake. There's Handshake again. Connecting you to employers, as I just said, and then career readiness workshop series. Again, the expectation is not that you're coming into this program, you're at a master's level program, that you know everything about interviewing, that you have all the confidence in the world, that you know how to ask the right questions, how to search for those internships, how to search for those jobs. So how to have a great resume, that's a big deal too. So my job is to make sure that you have all of those elements and to the best of my ability, make sure that you have everything looking as professional as possible. So when it's time for you to present yourself to employers or any other opportunities, you look like someone that, well, they'll say, you know what, every time I have a St. John's University student in front of me, I'm impressed because they're always polished and well prepared. So that's my goal, is to make sure that happens. Here we have the page that I say we have a lot of our online resources. So if you see, I'm going to move my cursor really quickly. If you see, obviously on the home page for St. John's University, you can go there. And then of course the subsections, and you go to the career services section. And then within the career services page, there's a section called career tools and resources. And that's where you're going to find all of the different things that we have available. Like I mentioned, the Parker Deweys, the Big Interview, as you see there, how to find forage, how to look for your particular major, and all of the different things that you can do. But the one thing that I really want us to focus on, because again, this is an introduction to career services and how we can offer our services to you to the best of our ability, Handshake is the one that I want us to really focus on, because this is the place where you have most access to me and where I have the most access to you as students. Because whenever I send out information to students, it's through the Handshake platform. When you want to make an appointment with me, it's through the Handshake platform. A lot of the work that gets done between students and myself is through Handshake. So my goal today, one of my goals, obviously, again, is to make you understand why Handshake is your best friend, because it's going to help us work together and make you as successful as possible. One of the ways to access Handshake, obviously, is through your sign-on page. You go to the Handshake box, click on that, and it's going to open you up. The way that you know you're on Handshake is obviously you're going to see yourself, or you're going to see an avatar of yourself. You're going to have to be able to put a picture on there. You're going to have some information on there, but you'll be able to put it on there. There's some stuff that's automatically generated because we know when you graduate, we know when you're getting your degree, all of that. If you see down here, your goal is to make sure that your profile is 100% complete. With the information that we have automatically just generated for you, again, your GPA, if you're a freshman, if you're a master's program, anything like that, what your area of study is, generally you'll have 15% of your profile already complete. Back to my original point, when you have 15% of your profile complete, I will advise you to not reach out to employers. I will advise you not to sign up for things or do different things, because you want to make sure that your profile is 100% complete. As you go through this, you're going to see that's by listing the different jobs that you've had, if you've had any volunteering that you've done, if you have papers or projects that you've done that are specific to your career goals and to your area of study. You want to make sure that's all in there. So as you navigate through Handshake, I always say, students, just, you all have it. As long as you're a student at St. John's University, you have a Handshake page. With that said, I will say go on the Handshake page, look at it. It kind of gives you step-by-steps as how to do it. But again, you could always reach out to me and I can walk you through it as well. And we can make sure that everything's there. You're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and you look professional as possible. So if you look on the right side of the page, you'll see that this is all the things that are career related that you can do through Handshake. So you can apply to your dream job. You make appointments with me, as I said before. Building a profile is crucial. You can also upload your resume. Again, something that I'll say is don't just upload your resume, completing your profile and uploading your resume makes your page extremely strong. Sometimes employers don't want to just look at your resume. They want to go through your profile and see, who you are, some things about you that are just listed for them rather than looking at your resume. So you want to make sure you have that available for both of them. You never want to have an employer searching or hunting or cherry picking or trying to find things about you that they want to know, and to make that a difficult process. You want them to say, this was really easy to figure out that this is the person that I want to hire. Next bullet, you want to make sure that you use it to jumpstart your job and internship search. We do have a team on the career services team. I'm an advisor, so I work directly with students. We have our people who work directly with employers. That's our employer relations team. Those are the ones that will go out and they'll speak to the different employers. Those are the ones that will go out and say, I have students in the library sciences program that are interested in working at this particular place. So they're going to do what they can to find those opportunities for you in those areas. And then again, you also have where you can register for career events, as I said before, and that's the previous slide. Um, Obviously, you're going to be watching this at some point, and during the day, at night. I would hope that maybe you have your phone out or something different where if you're saying, I like to have it on my laptop, I like to have it on my desktop, anything like that. But you can also scan the QR code. You can have it on your phone. So the same information that you'll see on your computer is the same information that you'll see on your phone. So if you set up an appointment to meet with an employer through Handshake, or we have an event coming up, or you want to just make sure that the event is when it is or what it says, all of the information that we have on our Handshake page on the computer is the same thing that you'll be able to see on your phone. So if you're at work and you need to pull the phone out really quick just to confirm something, it's all there. If you have an appointment with me, it'll show up on that Handshake page on your phone. Throw it back in your pocket, get back to work. You don't get in trouble at the job for, saying you want to step out and go on your laptop or something like that. It's all right there for you. The other thing that you want to make sure is you see that Handshake helps all students launch meaningful careers. And again, it's a valuable tool all alone, without us even being involved. And when I say us, I'm talking about career services. The Handshake page is not something that is particular just to St. John's University. A lot of other universities and colleges use Handshake, and they have it set up where it's, the algorithms are set for their student population. So we have Handshake, and then we insert ourselves into it. So our employer relations team puts information there. I put information there. You can look for stuff, and the employers are there. Everything that is on your particular Handshake page is set up for St. John's University students. So if you're in any other school, you do not have access to Handshake the way that a student at St. John's University would have it. So alone by itself, Handshake is something that helps you get hired. It helps you get discovered. It helps you get connected. Again, that's beautiful to have something where employers that are willing to use Handshake, and there's a lot of them out there, they connect with you through Handshake, and they have no problem using it because they understand that if you're on Handshake and you're reaching out to them or you want to engage them, you're serious about your career goals and you want to make sure that you are being effective and efficient in what you're doing. Fourth point, you get expert help. So from career building resources to employers recommended by the Career Center, there's so many out there. And again, one thing I want to say about Handshake and how we use it at St. John's is that a lot of our alum who are in your position, who are now in the workforce, and all of the different other majors that we have, they are very big on coming back and saying, I'd love to hire some students from St. John's. I'd love to hire those because I remember how difficult it was for me to find a job or how easy it was for me to find a job. And now that I'm in this position, I want to start by going back, reaching my hand out and pulling up those other Johnnies that are in the same place that I used to be, because I know that this is the type of person that I want in this position because I know what they studied, I know what they learned, and I know what they're capable of. So these are the people that I want to start populating our workforce with. So let's go back and reach out to Johnny. So again, Handshake is great because our alumni connections are fantastic. So again, when we insert ourselves into the Handshake platform, so it's again its own platform by itself, but with St. John's in it, you can use it to create a profile to receive jobs, internships, and events. You could search for internships, jobs. You look for employers. You can look at a calendar of events because we always have something that we're putting on there. I could go on there right now and probably see like 10 events that will probably be beneficial to our students. What I also like to do as we go on is if I see something that's interesting for library sciences, I'm going to make sure that I send that out to you. So I would hope that everyone stays on there. Sometimes what you'll get is the opportunity to opt out of using Handshake. I definitely think that's a disservice to yourself because, again, a lot of the opportunities and places that will move you forward in your career are going to be found on Handshake. If you opt out of Handshake, I can send stuff out to all the different people in your area of study. You'll never get that information. You won't have the opportunity to sign up for appointments with me to talk about something for us to kind of figure out, I'm struggling with this choice. I have two areas of, library science I'm interested in. I want to kind of figure out, like, can you give me some more information on that? We can't really do that unless you have access to Handshake. So I really say do your best to try to stay on Handshake. My emails that you'll get are not ones that are going to be asking you for money or any donations or any alumni, anything. Mine are the ones that are going to be hopefully help you get the job so you can make money, so you can be successful, so you can pursue your passion and take what you learn in your program and apply it in the workforce. And again, internships. I can't speak enough about internships. I work with students who are, again, they're on the fence about which way they want to go. And sometimes they don't even want to take their degree that they use in library science and use it for library sciences. They're like, I want to try this. I think I had someone in the program who's interested in working with animals, and he wants to use his degree to have an understanding and the background to do research and understanding and go into archives and find information that he needs that's going to help make him successful in working with animals. And then I have someone who's like, well, I'm all in. I want to do archiving. I want to do all this stuff, or I want to work, with young people. There's different areas that people want to go into. So I always say the best way to get that experience and make sure and solidify in your mind that this is what you want to do is get an internship. And then the plus side to it is that 80% of employers do extend full-time offers to internship candidates. What I want to make sure I put in there is successful internship candidates, because sometimes what happens is people do an internship and they say, you know what, I'm going to go sometimes, I'm going to participate sometimes, I'm just going to be quiet and kind of stay in the background and not really be seen or take on new tasks. And the point of doing an internship is to really say to yourself, I want to try everything. I want to do everything I can to make sure that this is what I want to do, because I feel in my mind and in my heart that this is what I want to do. But let me also have some type of experience where I can say to myself, this is going to make me understand yes to this or no to this. And that's usually what an internship does. The other good thing about doing an internship is that you have the opportunity over a few months to say, I really like this. I want to continue and do something else. Or I am so happy I did this because I hate it and I want to do something else and I want to move on. So you have the ability to take those few months and hop around and try different things. And I say that because when you do go into the workforce after you graduate, or if you're already in it, employers aren't really fond of what I like to call job hoppers. And these are people who get into a job, get into a career a year later, maybe less than 2 years. They're saying, I want to try something else. I want to try something else. Because on your resume, it looks like you're someone who can't keep a job, or you're someone who gets bored easily, and they're going to pour all this money into training you and all the HR stuff and all of these things for you to just leave, and then they have to start that job search all over again. No thanks, we'll pass on this job hopper. I want somebody who looks like they're dedicated to what they want to do and shows growth and those different things. Those are things that you can show by doing an internship and getting that information. So you also have to think about when you're doing an internship, again, because there's so many different areas directions you can go in this particular field of study. So you want to make sure that you have to understand what is the specialty that you want to work in, and and how can I get that experience there. So some of the areas that you can think about working in, and there's more than this, but these are some of the main ones that you can focus on, we could focus on and have conversations about, are these ones that you see in front of you. Sometimes when people are in their particular field of study, they're not really sure where to go. They just know that for some reason they've always liked that area of study, or they've liked doing that thing that they do. And somebody told them they're good at that or they should do it. So now they're in it, but they don't know what that next piece is or what those next steps are. So even with this little bit of information about the different specializations, it makes people say, oh, okay, I'm going to take what I've learned, I'm going to use it and apply it to one of these areas of study. So that's the good part about doing internships, is you get to immerse yourself more in your craft and perfect it a little bit more. And again, this is really an introduction to career services. So I don't really go too far on like steps and tips and what you have to do to get far. But I felt that it would be valuable with what I said in the previous slide about the different areas of specialization is that you make sure that you know what you could do to be successful. So in an age that we live in, everything is technology. I'll say for myself, back in my day, I don't always say that, but back in my day, we had the thing where you'd go to the library and you'd pull out the little drawer and you'd have to flip through all those little index cards to find the stuff that you need. Now you could just go onto the computer and there's all these databases and everything compiled. Of course, students like yourself are the ones that help put those things together and organize them and make them great and available to people like myself. But you should always make sure that you increase your technology skills. It's always changing. There's always something new. If you look in the news and you read the news, all of this, there's always something. AI is doing this and making this easier and doing all these different things. And there's programs that make it easy for you to from home. You can access your local library. There's so many things that are done through technology that you are really setting yourself back if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm old school or I don't really do the technology stuff. That's not my thing. Someone who has that as their thing, they're going to be the person that's going to get that job over you because they're keeping themselves relevant and understanding of what's out there and what's new. So that to the second point is gain relevant experience. That goes back to internships, volunteering, some form of experiential activity. I know I work with students, they say they want to go into a particular area, they show me their resume, and really what would happen is if they were to enter that, going back to technology, into a database or into something, they have, I worked in this hotel, I worked in this fast food restaurant, I did all these things. People who are looking for someone in hospitality are going to jump all over those resumes. But that student's going to say, but I'm studying library sciences. How come I can't get this job? It goes back to how you brand yourself. It goes back to the experiences that you have. You want to make sure that you start taking those experiences in hotels, fast food restaurants, and all those different things that you're doing, and also adding experiences in a library, in some type of archiving, something where you are, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to get experiences in this. Those things should start to show on your resume and sometimes even push down those things on your resume that don't speak towards what your career goal is. You also have to think about the skills that you need. Always say to yourself, what am I learning in these courses that I'm taking? These courses that you're taking are preparing you and giving you the skills that you need to be successful when it's time to get hired in that career. So sometimes a student will look at a job and say, oh, I don't have experience. I don't have skills. The program that you're in right now is the experience and those are the skills that you need to be successful. So if you cannot see them, again, I'm always available and willing to help make sure that you do see that and you see how the courses that you're taking make you a great candidate for a lot of these opportunities. The other part that you have to think about is when you're in a program and every year the syllabus is current, it's got new information, it's got everything that's going on. So you are probably someone who has more of an advantage over the person that's been in the field and in the industry for a while. They might know stuff, whatever, but sometimes they might not know the new stuff that's coming out. You're in a class right now where you're learning all of the latest things that are going on in your field, all of the latest technology that they're using in your field. So you're able to articulate that probably better than someone that's in the field and make yourself a great candidate for an opportunity. The other part, like I said earlier, using your network, please make sure if you know somebody in a library, contact them. You can do an informational interview with them and not necessarily ask for a job. I know sometimes people are like, I'm just going to talk to them and say, you got any jobs available? Sometimes that's off-putting to people and they might ghost you and they might not want to speak to you again. Again, that's a chance you take. So I would say before you just reach out to somebody that's in the field or doing something and say, do you have a job for me? I'm about to graduate. Do you have a job? Ask them about the job. Ask them about what they do. Say you want to just talk to them and pick their brain. Like, why did you choose that? Why are you doing what you do? Why are you still doing what you do? Do you love what you do? Tell me about what it looks like to work here for a week. How is that? Let them know that you're actually interested in the field and you're not just trying to exploit them to get a job because some people don't like that and they will not respond to you. And then again, another big part, and this is going to LinkedIn. You can join different library science organizations through myself. I can introduce you to some of those different organizations that might be beneficial depending on what your career path is. A few of the examples that I have listed down here, I can't list them all because this is a very general workshop, so I don't want to list ones and someone says, oh, you're not listing the ones for me. But some of the basic ones are the International Society for Knowledge Organization, Special Library Association, the American Library Association, as well as the Association of Research Libraries. And again, these are just four. There's plenty more that we could talk about. But again, that would probably require you speaking with me, going on using this different resources that we have available. Again, I will always say LinkedIn is great. Some people don't realize that if you go on LinkedIn, there's a category where you can type in library sciences and it can show you different organizations and groups to join. And there's hundreds of them. And these are like in real time, people who are in the field doing the work that you're looking to do. They're part of these. So you can interact with them and have conversations and get to learn what they do and hear people talking real time using all the different language that they use in your particular field. Another way that you can get experience, sometimes students, again, this is an online course, so people put themselves in these courses because they're like, I don't really have all the time in the world to be going to places or going to do different things. We, again, have on that resource page that I was talking about, career tools and resources. On that page, we have a program that's called Forage. I think Forage is great for students who want to get an opportunity to experience what it's like to work in a particular business, in a particular company, in a particular area. Forage, it's a platform which it shows like different careers that you can connect with job simulations. And the good part about the simulations is they're actual companies. So like JP Morgan Chase, the New York Public Library, all these different organizations are real and they give information, they give projects to you, and there's tasks that you have to do, and it simulates real world experience, and you're actually interacting with these organizations for real. It's not like how Big Interview is AI generated and it's kind of going to spit back information to you based on algorithms and programs. These are the actual organizations that you're doing the work with. They donate their programs and their tasks to this platform so that you have the ability to interact with them and take on tasks and programs. And when you complete the simulation, you understand what it's like to actually work there. Again, nothing beats going in there, physically being there, getting a feel for the energy that you have. During COVID, everybody worked from home. You get, some of that cabin fever. You want to actually be able to interact with people and see what it's like to do the work that you do and be surrounded by others who also like to do the work that you do. But again, this is a great place for you to get some of that experience in addition to the real world experience. So, that last point, you think of it like a risk-free opportunity to try out a career in a leading company. And as I speak about this, I know some students are like, well, I'm not sure if I want to do it, or I kind of have an idea of what Forage is. And the way that I like to kind of bring all of this together and get you to understand the stuff I talk about, doing internships, doing jobs. Sometimes, there's the saying, I could show you better than I could tell you. So the next slide is actually a video that talks about Forage. And I want you to really understand that Forage is one of the many resources that we have, but I think it's a really good one, and especially for this particular program because it's online, because it's virtual. This is where you have an opportunity to get a lot of the experiences and understand that the virtual platforms that we have available to you are really, really good. I will always say, reach out to me, set up a time to make a meeting with me. If you go on Handshake, please make sure you do, and you want to make an appointment with your career advisor, it's going to direct you to me. It's not going to direct you to any other advisor. It won't allow you to meet with any other advisor because I'm the advisor that meets with this particular field of study. So if after looking at this presentation, you say to yourself, I want to follow up, I have questions that, usually in a presentation, I would end by asking if you have questions. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm somebody who loves to answer any and every question that you have. And if I don't know the answer, I either like to find out the answer for you or direct you to somewhere where the answer is going to be provided for you, because it is my goal, again, to make sure you understand your why and what your success is. So the last slide that I'm going to show, like I said, is the video that's going to tell you about Forage. So pay attention to it. Write down any questions you have about anything I spoke about before, but especially anything that you have that has to do with Forage. So I'll be quiet and I'll let you watch the video on Forage.
Everyone, I'm Gina with University Career Services, and I'm here to talk to you about Forage, an online platform that all St. John's students and faculty have access to. Forage allows students to participate in company-endorsed virtual work experience programs. Each program contains a series of resources and tasks designed to simulate the real-world experience of starting a career in a particular industry. And possibly best of all, you don't have to apply or interview to take part in these online programs. They're also completely virtual and self-paced. You have two ways of searching for programs that you're interested in. You can either use the career interest drop-down menu or search by company. We love this resource because we know that getting hands-on experience can often require a lot of time and energy. With Forage, it's literally as simple as clicking the Register Now button and getting started. Once you enroll in a program, you'll see that you've been assigned various tasks designed to simulate real-world work experiences you might encounter when working in that industry or role. And although you won't be paid upon completion, many programs offer you a certificate that you can add to your resume and LinkedIn profile. Forage provides you with links to resources that are there to help you in completing your task while simultaneously teaching you more about the field and required skill set. Once you've completed a task, the program provides you with a model answer key so you can review your work, assess how well you've done, and make improvements for the future. There's truly something here for everyone. Whether you're a math major who loves analyzing data, someone who's a bit more in tune with their creative side, setting your sights on entering the finance world, looking to help others and make a difference. Or maybe you just want to prep for that upcoming interview. At Forage, there's truly something valuable for everyone. You can access Forage by visiting the Career Services Canvas course or by finding the Career Tools and Resources page on the St. John's website. Once again, I'm Gina, and thanks so much for tuning in to this student resource highlight.
So that video again was something that tells you that's one of the many resources. And if you saw as they were scrolling through the different things on the career tools and resources page, there were so many other things that you could pass by. I say everyone that looks on our career tools and resources page should click on everything, try everything out. If it's something that you're like, well, this isn't really something that I want to use or something that I'd like to work on, at least you have the opportunity to try it. Sometimes you look at something and say, what is this? And as you try, you're like, wow, this is fantastic. I was looking for some kind of resource before. And people tend to go on Google or they hire somebody and they pay tons of money for something that is right there and available to you as a student at St. John's University. So you want to make sure that you're definitely using all the tools and resources that we provide for you, knowing that I am one of those many tools and resources that we provide for you. And again, if you see on this page, the last box that I showed on that first slide that when I came on was that we want to make sure that you stay connected with us. Again, technology is changing and we're evolving and we're making sure that we use every opportunity to give you access to us at St. John's University. So this page I keep on here for a while, and I keep it on here because there's the QR codes. We have a great IG page, LinkedIn page, YouTube, as well as TikTok. And we try to give all the information going back to Handshake. Sometimes if you look at something on Handshake, it's probably something that will also advertise on one of these other platforms as well. So sometimes people are like, you know what, I'm tired of going on Handshake. Please don't be tired of it. But if you are and you're like, I'm just on IG and I'm scrolling, first of all, follow us, and then make sure that as you're following us, go to our particular pages just to see if something's coming up, because we do advertise a lot of our events that we have going on at St. John's in career services on these different platforms. So with that said, I hope you have a great understanding as to how we can help you. I'd love to hear from a lot of you. I don't mind if you email me, reach out to me, set up an appointment on Handshake. Any questions that you have, I want you to know that we have resources within me, within our technology, within our department, and I hope that you found this to be a very valuable and helpful workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth. It's great. There's so much available to our students, and that's really important, especially at the graduate level. As Kenneth mentioned, uh, experiential learning is vital, especially in our field. If you have a job, if you're part-time in a library or information center, um, meet with Kenneth and jazz that up on your resume, that experience. Hiring directors and hiring managers in libraries and public libraries especially want to see that you have some kind of training and cross training. Anybody in the Division of Library and Information Science who has 6 or more credits, depending on the library system, you could get a part-time job as a librarian trainee at a public library. Some systems allow for a minimum of 6 credits. Some will require a minimum of 12 credits. But think of how that could impact your resume, your career development. Having a part-time job as a trainee in a library before you graduate from the program puts you a step ahead of someone who doesn't have any library experience at the point of graduation. And not that you're in competition with your classmates. We're an online program, so we're all over the country. We're not competing in the same markets, but getting that experience is very important. And meeting with someone like Kenneth to talk about other experiences that you have in your working life and how that could relate to library and information science in a career in librarianship. You may not think that working 25 hours a week as a supervisor in a donut shop is relevant, but chances are you're scheduling people, you're dealing with disruptive clientele, you're dealing with vendor relationship management, you're dealing with inventory. These are all skills that have application in librarianship and other entities. I like to tell people that the difference between an academic library and a Starbucks is that Starbucks knows exactly how many units are in-house at any time because they have inventory management and they have people dedicated to stock taking. Whereas in academic libraries, we don't always know where the books are or if we even have the books. Our catalog may say something, but the book may not have been in the building for 10 years. So these are things to consider. Thanks again, Kenneth. This is vital information for our students. All of these services are accessible online. If you have any questions, Kenneth's information is on the career development page of the DLIS LibGuide, so it's permanently there. You can reference this recording will be posted to our YouTube channel as usual, and you'll be notified in the digest. I'm saying that speaking like it's coming. The recording that you're watching is already on YouTube, so I have to remember that this is a little bit of time traveling. Thanks again, Kenneth, and we'll see you. The last time we did this webinar together was the first day that I moved to Buffalo. I
Yes.
actually I had just checked into the hotel and was accessing the Wi-Fi when I logged on. So it's 2 years since I moved to Buffalo. It's coming up in April. So that was the last time we gave the workshop, April of 2023. Yeah. So anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. I'm going to be on campus in April, so I'll reach out to you.
Yes, please do. I look
All
forward to
right,
it.
sir. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for doing this for us, Kenneth.